I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume, so I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. We continue in Helaman again. The Nephites have fallen into gross wickedness. The Lamanites are the righteous ones now, so we flip that. Gaggy and robbers are infesting the mountains, and among all this going on, Nephi and Lehi are still prophesying and preaching among the Nephites, and now we get Samuel the Lamanite being sent up from the south to preach in the city of Zarahemla. He has prophesied the destruction of the Nephites, the slippery treasure. That was a fun one. In our last reading, we read of the signs of the birth of Christ, the day, the night and day, as if it is one day, and the new star. Now we also read about the necessity of Christ's death, and now we pick this up in chapter 14, starting in verse 20. But behold, as I said unto you concerning another sign, a sign of his death. Behold, in that day that he shall suffer death, the sun shall be darkened, and refuse to give his light unto you, and also the moon and the stars, and there shall be no light upon the face of this land, even from the time that he shall suffer death, for the space of 3 days, to the time that he shall rise again from the dead. Yea, at the time that he shall yield up the ghost, there shall be thunderings and lightnings for the space of many hours, and the earth shall shake and tremble, and the rocks which are upon the face of this earth, which are both above the earth and beneath, which ye know at this time are solid, or the more part of it is one solid mass, shall be broken up. Yea, they shall be rent in twain, and shall ever after be found in seams, and in cracks, and in broken fragments upon the face of the whole earth. Yea, both above the earth and beneath. And behold, there shall be great tempests, and there shall be many mountains laid low, like unto a valley. And there shall be many places which are now called valleys, which shall become mountains, whose height is great. And many highways shall be broken up, and many cities shall become desolate. And many graves shall be opened, and shall yield up many of their dead, and many saints shall appear unto many. And behold, thus hath the angel spoken unto me, for he said unto me that there should be thunderings and lightnings for the space of many hours. And he said unto me that while the thunder and the lightning lasted, and the tempest, that these things should be, and that darkness should cover the face of the whole earth for the space of 3 days. And the angel said unto me that many shall see greater things than these, to the intent that they might believe that these signs and these wonders should come to pass upon all the face of this land, to the intent that there should be no cause for unbelief among the children of men. And this is the intent, that whosoever will believe might be saved, and that whosoever will not believe, a righteous judgment might come upon them. And also, if they are condemned, they bring upon themselves their own condemnation. And now remember, my brethren, that whosoever perisheth, perisheth unto himself. And whosoever doeth iniquity doeth it unto himself. For behold, ye are free. Ye are permitted to act for yourselves. For behold, God hath given unto you a knowledge, and he hath made you free. He hath given unto you that ye might know good from evil, and he hath given unto you that ye might choose life or death. And ye can do good, and be restored unto that which is good, or have that which is good restored unto you. Or ye can do evil, and have that which is evil restored unto you. Notice his prophecy here. A couple of things that we're all familiar with, I think. 3 hours of destruction. Thunders, tempests, lightnings, earthquakes, cities being destroyed, mountains leveled, valleys raised, all that stuff. Same 3 hours that we read about in the New Testament when Christ is killed. 3 hours of storm and darkness. But then it is followed, in America, by 3 days of darkness. 3 hours of destruction followed by 3 days of darkness, at which point the saints are resurrected, or at least some of them are. Now note the timing here. He says, at the moment of Christ's death, the storm starts, 3 hours of destruction, and then followed by darkness, which ends at the moment that Christ is resurrected. The 3 days here are a little iffy on timing, because Christ is killed on Friday, the day before the Sabbath. He is taken down off the cross and hastily buried Friday before the Sabbath starts, which starts on when the sun goes down. It is then early Sunday morning that the tomb is found empty. Now, how early we're not 100% sure. I think it says in the second watch or something like that. So it's fairly early, which means that he was probably in the tomb for 2.5 days, maybe. I mean, he was in the tomb for about a day and a half, really. And he was dead for about 2.5 days, if we go from a strict 24-hour period. So how long were the 3 days of darkness? Well, we'll read about that a little bit more when we come to 3rd Nephi. But the one thing I want to point out here is his statement right there that the rocks upon the face of the earth, both above and below, which ye know at this time are solid, or the more part of it, is one solid mass. In other words, at least this is the way I understand this, is that before the death of Christ, there were no fault lines in America. The San Andreas Fault did not exist. It was the bedrock was one solid mass. No fault lines, or at least very few, and they were minor. After Christ's death, it is broken up into cracks and seams. The fault lines form. The volcanoes start too. Because without a fault line, there's no place for the lava to rise up through. So before the death of Christ, America had no earthquakes, had no volcanoes. Probably had very few real natural disasters. After Christ, everything is torn apart. Find it very interesting. But we leave that here, and I will pick this up in chapter 15 next. So see you there.